Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Quentin here and this is tutorial number 42, and in this tutorial we are going to continue talking about tables, and I'm actually going to be talking about colspan and rowspan specifically. So colspan and rowspan allow us to make a column that spans over multiple cells, or we can go ahead and use rowspan to make a row or a cell span over multiple rows. So by the way, that's supposed to make a cell span over multiple columns. I might have mixed that up a second ago, but yeah. Okay, so now let's go ahead and learn how to do that. So I'm going to be using this table which we made in the previous tutorial. Okay, and if you guys don't have this table because you didn't watch the previous tutorial, go back and watch that and you'll be good to go. So if we take a look at this in the browser, we've got something that looks kind of like this, where we have our caption and then our table. But what I want to do is actually make this caption part of the table. So the first thing I'm going to do is make this caption appear in the first row and actually take up or make a cell that spans all 4 columns in the first row for that caption. So let's go ahead and do that. So to do that, I'm going to start off a table row and I'm going to end off a table row. So we're going to get rid of that caption tag. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is create a table cell over here. So we're going to do that by just making one called table data, and we're just going to close that off. But we now want to make this cell actually span over multiple columns, because if I refresh this right now, you can see we've got this table data, or this table cell over here, spanning over only one column, and that is kind of annoying because now you've got these other 3 columns over here that actually have nothing above them, and this first column called rank is stretched way out much further than it needs to be, because you know, we only have a one digit number in here, so it really doesn't need to be as wide as it is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add an attribute over here called colspan, and I'm going to set that equal to how many columns we want this cell to span over. So you can see that the rest of our rows all consist of 4 cells. So that means that we want this column to span over 4 cells so that it'll take up the full width of the table. So let's go back and click refresh, and as you can see, we now have this new cell up here that actually spans over all of the other columns. So we've got one actual cell that spans over multiple columns, and that is what colspan is used for. And we can do the same thing except make it span over multiple rows, and that is called rowspan. So to do that, I'm going to go back over to CSS or HTML. I don't know why I keep calling it CSS. And what I'm actually going to do here is take this cell and I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to get rid of this row because we don't actually need a blank row, and what I'm going to do is add that table data, or that table cell, into our first row. Okay, and if I go back to Firefox now and click refresh, things are going to look a little bit funny because we now have this one cell over here, and to be honest, let's change that colspan as well, because we don't actually need that attribute there either. Okay, because we're not going to take a look at colspan anymore, we're taking a look at rowspan. So click refresh, we now have this column over here, and then we have our actual rank is out of place, because the rank, the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 need to appear under this heading rank, and Tetris needs to appear under the title, not under the rank. So everything's shifted over 1. and you know, that looks kind of weird. But what I want to do here is actually make this cell span over multiple rows. So to do that, I'm going to go back to our table over here, and I'm going to go back to this actual table data, and I'm going to give that an attribute of rowspan, and we're going to set that equal to how many rows we want this cell to span. So if we take a look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows that we want that to span over. So rowspan I'm going to set equal to 5, click save, and come back here and click refresh. And as you can see, we've now pushed everything back to where it's supposed to be. So the rank now has the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. The title contains all the titles. The release year contains the years. Copy sold has the copy sold. But over here we've got one huge cell which contains our actual description of the table. And you know, this probably isn't the best way to do this, but you know, it's just an example. So if you guys ever want to make a cell that spans over multiple rows, then that is how you do that. And if you want to make it span over multiple columns, then I just showed you guys how to do that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video. Don't forget to subscribe. Please feel free to leave a comment, like, or share this video. It's really going to help my channel grow, and I will see you guys in the next one.